Here's a question we have for you. Where we go. Here it is. Do you think the judge will sentence Diddy to more or go easy on him? What do you think? The max or go easy on him? Do you think you'll sentence him to the max or go easy on him?
What's the name of the questioner? I just curious.
Oh, that's Sheila Duffy.
Oh, Sheila Duffy, that is a brilliant question. Brilliant. And here's my answer. I think the judge, he never expressed this. I think the judge is going to hammer him. I really do.
Do you think you take some of that from the fact that he wouldn't grant bail for convictions on things that normally would include bail?
Yes. When he denied bail, I said that was a red flag. Now, is he going to sentence him to 40 years, 30? No, that's not going to happen. But I predict that Diddy's probably going to get 7 years in prison.
All right. Is that the Mann Act? Is that on the two Mann Acts?
Yeah, the Mann Act are 10 each, technically.
And here's why, and this goes to the good question, a great question. When and you probably talked about this already, the Supreme Court, rightly or wrongly, Linda Kenny Bodden, has said that acquitted conduct can be used at a sentencing.
Yep.
Acquitted conduct.
I have told people that they don't believe it.
They don't believe it.
They don't believe when in a federal court, people that have been acquitted of a crime, actually found not guilty of a crime, it can be used in sentencing to increase the penalty and to justify the penalty you give. People don't believe you, Gene. People don't believe me when I say that.
And the reason is, and this gets to Mr. Duffy's question, is at a sentencing, it's not beyond a reasonable doubt. The court can find by preponderance, 51%, that A, B, C, and D happen. Okay? And can use A, B, and C to enhance the sentence. There is no doubt in my mind that this judge is going to find A, B, and C by a preponderance and use that to give him at least 7 years. Right. Absolutely.
On each Mann Act conviction
or combined.
He can use the acquitted conduct, Linda Kenny Bodden.
Thank you for getting my name right. You may be the only person in the last month that got my name right.
I call you Miss Polenta, and that's some of that.
Okay, that's another story.
We can save a show for that one. But he can take the acquitted conduct on RICO and the 2 sex trafficking, 3 counts, and use that to inform him on the sentence he will give on the Mann Act.
Right. But it's a max 20, 2 times 10 for the Mann Act. That's just so the folks know the max if he wanted to really go to the top.
First off, he won't do consecutive. He'll just say concurrent. But I really believe that for the 2 Mann Act charges, he will give 7 years imprisonment if I were betting. Okay.
And he'll get a year for time served. And if he does 85% in the feds, he's going to get out in 6 years, 5 years.
But don't forget, he gets some good time.
Yeah.
So if he gives him 7 years, you subtract the time he's already served,
right?
Which is how much?
About a year. He went in September, so about a year.
Bring that down to 6. The last 6 months, you go to a halfway house, so we're now 5.5. He serves 85% of that if he's good, so we're now down to 4.5. Yeah. Okay, basically.
Yeah.
The judge is going to say 4.5 is plenty. Is well deserved.
Well, let me ask you this: because of that, you have the conduct and the judge denied the bail because of his attorneys admitted that he's guilty of domestic violence. Okay, whether he's found guilty of it or not, he admitted he's guilty of domestic violence. We saw the beating of Cassie, right? All right. And we all know that in domestic violence victims, sometimes you can't leave. Your mindset becomes you can't leave, no matter what the jury thought has it applied to RICO. Does his finding already that he's guilty of domestic violence, does that allow him to use the beating of Cassie to make sure that sentence is enhanced, that he gives that sentence of 7 years?
Yes, he could do that. Sure. And I'm saying it's going to be at least 7 years. Frankly, if I were the judge and I believe the RICO was overcharged, the conduct, you can't ignore the conduct, the gravity of the conduct, even if he was acquitted. So 7 years, at least, I think that's what's going to happen. Great question, Sheila Duffy.
So here, let's talk now about, because we've dangled out there Hunter Biden and Jeffrey Epstein
and the
Mann Act.
What is the Mann Act, by the way?
I can show you some of it here. The Mann Act was 1910. They came up with this, and it's actually
the Mann Act.
It's actually, I'm not going to read the full text because people would be very angry. But the part I've highlighted is what it's all about, and it goes into it's traveling people across state lines, and the line they use. Let me see if I can make it a touch bigger for easier.
It's easy to violate. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, of course, and it's changed a few times over the years because let me see if I can go to the bottom, and they have this was not originally just the Mann Act. It was the White Slave Traffic Act. Yep. That's what it was for. So it's gone through some permutations over the years. In 1978 was the biggest one. That's where they changed. If you can follow my cursor down here, you'll see the immoral practice. There it is. To engage in any other immoral practice. They changed those words to just say anything that would otherwise be a crime. So my problem with this, Mr. Rossi, is prostitution. It's probably philosophical as much as anything else. But who's the victim in the prostitution, and should that be the crime for which the Mann Act attaches?
Well, I mean, society has determined that prostitution, even if it's consensual, is something that society can't tolerate. So that's just a cultural policy issue. But to me, and I mentioned this at the beginning, I'm in Washington, D.C. I'm two blocks from the White House, and I can guarantee you there's I won't mention names, of course, but it's not unusual for individuals in the Washington, D.C. area to enlist ladies of the night and have those ladies of the night cross state lines. That happens all the time. That is a violation of the Mann Act, period.
Right.
Now, let's go to Hunter Biden. When I heard the facts of Hunter Biden, and I thought he was overcharged on that gun count. I thought that gun charge was total baloney. That was baloney. His conviction on the gun count. The taxes, different. Because I did criminal tax, civil tax for 11 years. And he evaded and tried to avoid paying $2.2 million in taxes. Not income, but taxes. That's not a misdemeanor. That's a felony. So what I heard from the facts, or what I gathered from the facts, is he engaged in the classic Mann Act, but because it's hardly ever charged, they focused on the gun and the taxes. But Hunter Biden academically may have violated the Mann Act.
Yeah, and they investigated that and decided not to pursue it. I'm surprised they didn't tack it on, because I think that's what they did with Diddy. They tacked it on, right? And what it did was it gave the jury an opportunity to hit him with something, even if they failed on the RICO and the trafficking charges. So I thought, well, maybe with Biden they'll do the same thing. But I think because the tax case was so solid, they weren't as worried about a fallback. Exactly.
And Michael, you hit on a good point. By having those two Mann Act counts, the government kind of led with their chin because they gave the jury an out. The jury's not stupid. They know what the Mann Act is, and they know you're not supposed to discuss in deliberation sentencing, but they knew that RICO's RICO, and the Mann Act, that those other counts, they figured it out.